Hey everybody, we're back again to talk a little college football.
College football.
NCAA football. We are already up into week 5, 10, 14 already. And there's only 16 weeks.
So we're nearing the end.
Yeah, 3 weeks.
Of the weirdest season in a long time.
Yeah, but hey, it's football. That's as long as we got football. They didn't cancel the season. There's a few bumps along the road, a few changes, but we had football. We had a complete football so far. We've had a complete football season. And we're already up. So this weekend's week 14. We got 2 more after that. So we're getting near the end. But before we do any of that stuff, we always got to recap
the previous week.
So we're going to just recap week 13 real quick with you. Have a little fun, talk about the games. So we'll jump right into it. We had, of course, it was a busy week, and we had 4 Friday games.
On Thanksgiving weekend.
It was Thanksgiving weekend, though. Well, I mean, that's always the best football weekend of the whole year, really, is the Thanksgiving weekend. But we'll just jump right in. We had Iowa State, Texas. Man, that was a good game.
Iowa State barely squeaked one out because Texas missed a long field goal.
Missed a long field goal at the end, but Iowa State won 23-20.
Iowa State jumps to 9th in the current rankings.
And they have a chance to go, well, they probably will now go to the Big 12 championship. And they're probably going to face
Oklahoma.
So
what a surprise.
If they could beat Texas and Oklahoma in the same season, they still ain't going to make the playoffs. But they could get a nice big,
congratulations, participation trophy.
Good job. A good, New Year's Six game probably. So, I mean, it still be a good season. We had Nebraska at Iowa, and what a surprise, Nebraska loses again.
Nebraska has really fallen under hard times.
Yeah.
They remind us of another program that's hard.
Yeah, but we said, though, whenever that coach left, it was
UCF,
and went to Nebraska,
and
he doesn't fit.
He said his system doesn't fit the Big Ten at all.
Go back and check our history of our videos. When he moved, what we said, it ain't going to work.
It's not going to work.
He doesn't fit.
Putting a square peg into a round hole.
No. So I mean, that was his alma mater. That's why they did it. And UCF was the reigning national champions. So I can see why they did it, but
it didn't work.
It's just not working. Not unless they completely redo the whole program. I mean, they'd have to
It's not going to work.
They'd have to give him 6 years to where he could completely revamp every player on the team and get his system in there. So I don't know. I don't know if they're that patient or not.
Nebraska, considering their history, is probably not.
Probably not. We had Notre Dame at North Carolina. A little bit of a butt whooping. North Carolina's not up to that level yet.
But Notre Dame might possibly be at that level right
Maybe.
now.
We're going to find out again pretty soon because they're going to have to play Clemson again, it looks like. So we'll find out soon.
Trevor Lawrence this time around, and Clemson will be ready.
Yeah.
But Notre Dame's going to enjoy an ACC title game appearance.
Yes, with a little bit of a controversial weekend of canceling games in the ACC. They've been criticized pretty good, but we'll talk about that here in a minute. We had Oregon State. Oregon slipped up. Now we are positive to have no Pac-12 team in the playoff because Oregon lost to the mighty Beaver in the Civil War game. Oh, I'm sorry, I can't call that anymore, can they? They changed the name of the it's not the Civil War anymore.
It's the Duck versus the Beaver.
Come on, people, don't be ignorant. It's the Civil War. Oregon is the Civil War. You're so crazy. But Oregon slipped up our 41-38. That was a surprise, honestly.
The Beavers clogged up the Ducks' pathway, blocked it with a big dam in there. Put a big dam in there.
Yeah, they pulled out their chant. We are the Beavers, mighty Beavers. Jumping into Saturday's game. Kentucky, Florida.
Florida kicked the crap out of Kentucky.
34-10. We sort of figured that. Kentucky's defense, I think, is slipping a little bit, or people have figured them out a little bit. I know their defense was really good.
They went against 2 elite offenses in Alabama and Florida,
and lost pretty badly in both of them. Although I think Alabama's the best team in the SEC.
They had the Georgia scenario.
Yes.
When you have the biggest games, you flounder.
You flop, yeah. But Florida, in my opinion, is the only team that might sneak into the playoffs. If they can somehow beat Alabama, which I don't think they're going to. Don't get me wrong, I'm not picking Florida to win SEC. I'm picking Alabama. But something crazy happens and Florida wins, they could get into the playoffs. But that's the only team
That's the only scenario.
That's the only really scenario that I see it happening. I'm sorry, Texas A&M fans. I really don't see Texas A&M even having a chance, really. And that's mainly because of the Notre Dame Clemson situation, which we can talk about. We had Coastal Carolina, those fancy
chickens.
Ah, man, I'm really digging me some Chanticleers, man. I am. I'm a Chanticleer
We're
fan.
getting to know
I'm about to get me
school year.
I'm about to get me a Chanticleer shirt. I want a teal chicken. Don't you? Don't you want a teal chicken? Go Chanticleer, man. I mean, they played Texas State
and kick the crap out of
49-14. That's what you do if you're a good team. Now we've got a good one coming up this weekend with Coastal Carolina. Again, but we'll talk about that here in a minute. We had Auburn at Alabama.
Man,
even without Saban.
Man, they kicked their butt.
42-13. Alabama is the best team in football right now. You can't tell me there's no Notre Dame, there's no Clemson, there's no Florida. Alabama is number one.
Just like the past decade.
But they've done it with an exclamation point this year. I think they are
trying to prove.
I think they're heads and shoulders above everybody else.
Imagine if they still had Jalen Waddle stuff.
Yeah, that's without Jalen. That's without the fastest player in the nation. They put up 60 and 40.
If they had Jalen Waddle right now, they would be unanimous.
Unanimous, yeah. We had Pittsburgh at Clemson. Trevor Lawrence
comes back and
kicks the crap out of Pittsburgh, 52-17.
We've noticed we've used the word crap because a lot of the teams got the kick
the crap out of them. Yeah.
And Clemson did just that.
Just that to Pittsburgh. They did. They did what they were supposed to do.
They picked off their quarterback 3 times.
Mm-hmm. Again, it's probably going to be a Clemson Alabama national championship game unless they happen to meet in the semifinal,
which is becoming a rivalry.
Yeah, Clemson and Alabama has become a rivalry, and I think whoever wins in that game will be the national championship, whether it's a national championship game or the prelim game. Whoever wins that game will win the next game, or if that's the last game, of course, they'll be the national champion. We had Northwestern and Michigan State.
Man, Northwestern's offense floundered. 3 interceptions against a rebuilding Michigan State.
They moved. See what they're doing wrong is moving these teams into the top 10. They moved Indiana into the top 10.
They got beat.
They moved Northwestern into the top 10.
They embarrassed themselves.
They got beat by a 1-win Michigan State team. How can you be number 8 and get beat by a team with 1 win?
That is one contender for we're bringing back the stinker of the week this week.
Yeah,
because there were a lot of stinkers.
What? The stinkers, the NCAA people put these people in rankings. No, Northwestern was not the number 8 team in the country.
No, Northwestern is not.
They definitely were not. We had LSU at Texas A&M. LSU still struggling. Texas A&M looks sluggish though. They've been on like a 3-week hiatus because of scheduling and COVID.
Looks like it.
They were definitely sluggish. They came out. I'm not a Kellen Mond fan.
He's an inconsistent quarterback.
He's an inconsistent quarterback. That's one reason I think. Now, Texas A&M is the next tier down team. They're a good team. Don't get me wrong. A really good team. I would take their team because it's a good team. But they're not in the
their passing game is inconsistent.
Yeah,
that's the problem with A&M.
Yeah, A&M's ranked number 5 in the country, and they might be number 5 or number 6. I think
only because they got that 1 win against Florida.
I think they're number 6 more than I think Florida should be 5. To be honest,
they look better.
Florida's, if you do the eye test, Florida is a better team.
The Gators do look better than the Aggies from the eye test.
Yeah. Now, to talk about people who are overranked, we got number 9 Georgia beat South Carolina 45-16. Georgia's not the number 9 team in the country, although that new quarterback they stuck in
has looked better than the other ones they've used.
Pretty good. He's the first SEC quarterback in history to throw 400 yards in his first game. Of course, they were playing crap teams, so they could have probably pulled the peanut guy out to throw 400.
And they played a South Carolina team without their coach.
Yeah, so
it's like a chicken with its head cut off.
Yeah, Georgia, I think, is down on that same level as Texas A&M. Don't get me wrong, great teams, not elite teams.
And elite teams,
I think the elite teams
and their fan base expects Georgia to be on this echelon, and really they're here.
And that's where they've been for quite some time. They were teetering it as a really good one until the second half of important games, and then they lose them. So, we had Ohio State, Illinois canceled, Tulsa, Houston canceled, Minnesota, Wisconsin canceled, Cincinnati, Temple canceled, and Oklahoma, West Virginia postponed.
Strike 2 for Ohio State.
Strikes 2 for Ohio State if they miss one more game. They are not eligible
for the Big Ten title game.
For the Big Ten title game. So they've got to play the next 2, or it's controversy. So They probably will play them unless we'll talk about it here in a little bit, but that's good. But that's all for week 13 because we had the 5 cancellations. So let's go ahead and jump into week 14 and just talk about what we got
We're
going on.
going to start off a little spicy.
The Raging Cajuns take on Appy State.
The Habaneros.
Louisiana's 8-1. Appy State's 7-2. Both really good teams.
Peppers.
Appy State's favored by 3, so you've got +3 there if you want to take the Raging Cajuns. So you're Raging Cajuns plus 3 points. All right, we will go ahead and take that one. Louisiana, I haven't paid that much attention to yet, to be honest. I do like their hot red outfits. It's like they got a spicy uniform.
Their logo is a pepper.
They're dressed like a jalapeno. Their outfits look like a jalapeno. Let's go ahead and jump into Saturday. We got to talk about Tennessee again. Dang nabbit.
Yep,
Florida is at Tennessee.
Speaking of dead programs,
currently right now, Florida's favored by 17.5. Take it.
Take it.
They will beat Tennessee by 30 points.
Please.
Take it. My pick is 42-13.
Please take that.
Florida.
Please.
I'm picking 29 points, dude. It ain't 17 is a gimme.
You know those little Gator fans, the Gator fans doing the Gator chomping? That's probably what's going to happen all day. Mm-hmm. And it's the primetime CBS game of the week.
Although Tennessee is going to start their star freshman, Harrison Bailey.
No more Garantano.
No
more guacamole. No more
Garantano. I think the reason was he was actually quarantined this week. I don't know if he had it or if he came into contact with it, but Garantano was actually quarantined this week, so he didn't practice. Or last week he didn't practice last week, but he came in and practiced some this week. But that came the way. What we hope is he did what the freshman coming in for Georgia did, and throws for 400 yards and gives them a shot.
But you never know with our team this past decade.
I'm going to say no. Go ahead and take them points
because Florida's more experienced. They're better coached. They're better coach players. Just everything.
That's just all the way around. Huh? We got Ohio State, Michigan State.
So far, yeah, they're gonna keep this game going this week. So Ohio State's dream to play in the Big Ten title game lives on for another week.
Mm-hmm. Ohio State's without their coach this week too, but I think they'll beat Michigan State. They're not. Ohio State's not Northwestern.
Are you sure?
We haven't seen enough of them to say for sure, but no, they're not. No. They're not a fake. I mean, Ohio State's not one of my favorite teams, but they're a top 10 team, and Indiana and Northwestern. They're not top 10 teams. So Ohio State's going to win
and they struggled against the only top 10 opponent they faced. So I'm going to pick the Buckeyes here, but I'm going to keep that in mind.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We got Texas A&M Auburn.
It's time for consistent mode here for the Aggies.
Are they consistent? Auburn.
And the trail mix
is a trail mix bag. Last week we got nuts.
We got raisins.
Yeah, raisins. This week, I think we get nuts.
Are you going to pick an upset?
Upset.
You're picking the upset.
I'm going to pick Auburn.
You're picking Auburn.
I'm picking the upset, man.
Don't pick the trail mix bag. You might get a bad one.
Hey, I can't go wrong.
You can't go wrong
with a trail mix bag. I'm going to get an M&M this week, baby. I'm going to get some chocolate, baby. I'm going to get some chocolate. 5.5 points. I'm plus 5.5.
Plus 5 on Auburn?
So, yeah, I don't think Auburn, even if Auburn, I think it's a 27-24, 31-20, 31-27 game. I think it's a 4-point game is what it is. Even if Auburn don't win, I think they're going to try to keep it close because Malzahn wants to keep his job.
The Gus Bus must not run out of fuel.
And Gus has got this knack of losing big games and then winning the next one.
That's one thing with Gus Malzahn.
So I really think that Auburn might win this week. So I'm going to pick a little upset there and let's see what happens. We got Okie State, TCU. Okie State's favored by 2.
You want to pick the Cowboys?
I'll pick the Cowboys.
Pick the Mullet?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and pick him, yeah. Okie State's started off hot. They've lost 2 now, but I still think they're probably a better team than TCU. TCU's been down this year. They're only 4-4. We got Western Carolina, North Carolina, the biggest line of the week. North Carolina is favored by 49. 7.5.
I'll take the Tar Heels in that. Western Carolina is not on the same level as some of these other programs we talked about.
Probably since they have won 0 games this year.
Yes.
Since Western Carolina's over, North Carolina, probably after losing the big game last week to Notre Dame, they might try to take them out to the woodshed and prove a point that they're still a good team. So this might be a 63-3 game.
Might.
Probably will be. We got Rice at Marshall. Marshall has jumped up to number 21. Marshall is minus 23, and honestly, they'll probably. I think they'll cover that. I think they'll cover
the stampeding.
I think they will. Yeah.
You don't want to get in the way of a stampede.
Rice only has 1 win. So Marshall.
We want to change Rice Bowls.
Yeah, Marshall is 7-0. We got Northwestern Minnesota has been canceled, so there's a strike against those two.
Strike against Northwestern.
Mm-hmm. But Northwestern just has to play next week, and they're in the title game, aren't they? I think so.
Just about that.
Yeah. Syracuse, Notre Dame. Syracuse is 1-9. Wow,
that is terrible.
That is horrible.
And speaking of Syracuse, we're talking about a team that on a 4th down spiked the ball and lost.
Oh, that was so horrible.
That's a stinker of the week nominee.
4th down, and they spiked the ball to stop the clock. They stopped the clock all right. Because it was 4th down. It was great. That is the stinker of the week, dude. When you spike the ball on 4th down, I mean, who does that? Tom Brady? I'm sorry.
But Notre Dame's going to kick the
Notre Dame's going to kick the crap out of
They're going to shamrock dance all over that.
Yeah. Again, Notre Dame wants to prove they're number 2, so I think they'll put the pedal down. Yeah. West Virginia, Iowa State.
Iowa State. We'll pick the Cyclones.
Pick Iowa State on that one, yeah. Again, I haven't watched Iowa State that much, so I don't know a whole lot about them. But I still think they're a superior team over there. We got Indiana, Wisconsin.
Indiana lost their quarterback for the season with a torn ACL.
Yeah, so we'll go with Wisconsin.
That's Wisconsin.
We'll go with Wisconsin. And Wisconsin had a tough loss against Northwestern, so I think they'll probably try to bounce back a little bit. We'll take Wisconsin, especially since Indiana's hurt. Got Iowa, Illinois.
Iowa.
We'll take Iowa. Iowa by 14 plus points, yeah. Tulsa, Navy. I'd probably take Tulsa in that too. Navy lost a lot of their players from last year. They're 3-5, I think. So I'll probably take me some Tulsa in that one. Stanford, Washington. Stanford's only won 1 game out of their 3 so far, and Washington is 3-0. So Washington is a better team than what I thought they were going to be. So we'll probably take a little Washington on that one.
Take the Huskies.
Take some Huskies. Vanderbilt and Georgia was postponed today. So that one is going to be maybe next week, maybe the week after. We'll try to do a little makeup. Georgia's not going to make the SEC championship game.
And Vanderbilt we may talk about later.
Yeah. We got BYU, Coastal Carolina. This was the last minute, like 3 days ago, they came up with this game. Is that not a great game? One of them said, hey.
What a brainstorm.
One of them said, hey.
Let's have the Mormons face the fancy chickens.
Yeah, one of them said, hey, you want to play? And the other said, sure. And BYU said, I'll come to your house. And they said, come on. And now we got BYU Coastal, 2 9-0 teams. I mean, that's
a juicy match.
They're not the top rated teams but man, that's 2 9-0. Both of them hadn't lost. That's a really good game.
The Mormons are the fancy chickens in this game, Dad.
BYU's probably got the better skilled players, realistically. I think BYU's favored by 11, but I'm going to take Coastal Carolina.
You want to take the fancy chickens?
I've got 11 points, though. I mean, that's a huge 30-24, and I still win. That's only 6 points. 34-24, and I still win. That's just 10 points.
Yes, that's crazy.
So I think I'll take me a little.
You want to go with the ongoing meme of our videos this year?
The little fancy chickens. I'm going to go with the fancy chickens to win. Yeah, those fighting chickens.
Coastal Carolina.
Coastal Carolina. I don't know if they'll win or not, but I will take them plus 11 points, though. I got Oregon, Cal. Cal has looked horrible this year. I will take Oregon in that one.
But Cal is another contender. They scored a touchdown and missed the extra point in the 4th quarter to lose the game.
How is that?
That is brutality.
To tie the game, except for
that is brutal.
All you gotta do is just kick the extra point.
That emphasizes how 1 point is important.
Yes, it is. And kickers are important. There's been a lot of bad kicking the past couple of years. Got Clemson, Virginia Tech, Clemson. Yeah, they'll be pretty easy on that one. Got Alabama, LSU, Alabama, pretty easy. Alabama will win by 30 plus
Usually
points.
Usually that matchup is more competitive, but LSU's had a rare down year this year.
Mm-hmm. We got Miami Duke. That'll be Miami. Duke's having a down year. They're 2-7. And then we got Baylor, Oklahoma. Baylor's having a down year. They're only 2-5. So, and then we actually have a Sunday game this week.
Ooh.
Washington State versus USC. USC's a little bit better this year than what I thought they might be too. We'll take a little USC on that.
Take the Trojans.
Take some Trojans on that one. But that is it. That is college football for week 14. And
Press
a
the
recap
like,
of week
hit
13.
the subscribe button, and comment down below.
Tell us who is your pick of the week. My pick is Florida
Over
minus
Tennessee,
7.
the lock.
The lock of the week. Florida minus 17.5. They're going to beat the living crap out of us. Unless Herschel Bailey comes in and rips off the shirt and there's an S under there, we're losing by 20. That's just the way it is. But, tell us what you think. Hit a like, hit a subscribe, hit the groovy baby button.
On my face.
It's over there somewhere. Other than that, we'll see you next week.
See you next week.